Morgan Stanley is getting in on the Bitcoin game in a story first reported by CNBC.com. The company will start offering its wealth management clients access to Bitcoin funds.
Miami Mayor Francis Suarez proposing a resolution to give city workers the option to be paid in Bitcoin and also allowing residents to pay some of their taxes using the cryptocurrency.
I can't attribute the action in gold to anything other than it's at least a percentage of those people are now buying Bitcoin and not gold, because
it's 110 million now. By 2025, it'll be at $1 billion. And if we're right and it adopts pursuant to Metcalfe's law, you want to own some Bitcoin.
If we had 12 servers with 12 stakes of some random coin on them, and we were trusting those 12 servers to protect $200 billion, I would think that's much riskier. I think I'm not really interested in finding quick, elegant, cheap shortcuts to protecting all the money in the world.
Back to Fast Money. Morgan Stanley is getting in on the Bitcoin game in a story first reported by CNBC.com. The company will start offering its wealth management clients access to Bitcoin funds. It's the first big bank to take that step. So is this going to be a big win for Morgan Stanley Wealth Management? Tim, it's the only one offering it so far, and if it's a game of assets, it wants more assets under its umbrella.
Look what it's meant to the Square platform, the Cash App, to have the ability to transact in Bitcoin, but more importantly, like, Morgan Stanley's won the battle of the sector for the last 9 months. Really, the two kind of game-changing transactions with E-Trade, they're refocusing almost exclusively on annuity businesses. They've de-risked their model. The share price is re-rated. It's outperformed the S&P by 50% since October. So yeah, this is another step, and I think it's part of what have been some incredibly tactical moves, and I think some real thought that's gone into this, and also trying to demographically get exposure to, let's face it, a new generation of investors that care a lot more about this. So it's very smart.
Yeah, Karen, is this a differentiator for Morgan Stanley?
If it works, no, I don't think it will, because I think everyone else will follow. So, which I expect to happen anyway. So for Tim, brought up the good point of them wanting to go after clients that are younger, as you think of a Morgan Stanley or a JP Morgan client as older, and you also don't want your current clients to migrate if they do start to think, I need to have some Bitcoin as part of my portfolio.
Miami Mayor Francis Suarez proposing a resolution to give city workers the option to be paid in Bitcoin and also allowing residents to pay some of their taxes using the cryptocurrency. Joining me now, Miami Mayor Francis Suarez.
Well, we in the city of Miami, we want to be known as the most technologically forward city in America. We realize that technology is the future of our economy. And so not only for my generation, but for our children's generation, we want to make sure that we're creating the kind of economy that our children can be successful in and can produce high-paying jobs. So I saw an opportunity. There's a tremendously robust crypto community out there. There's tens of millions of people that are actually holding crypto, according to some of the people that I've talked to in some of the biggest exchanges. And so I thought that it was a sort of a low-lying fruit for the city of Miami to be innovative, to be forward-thinking, and to be the first city to be able to offer these things to its employees, to its residents, and even to think about it as an asset to invest in. And I can tell you the reaction has been overwhelmingly positive. The tweet that I put out with that resolution, I think, got 2 million views, 6.5 million impressions, and I've gotten calls from mayors and former governors from across the country that are looking at doing something similar.
You're in that transitory period. This is sort of like where Amazon was in 2000. People couldn't believe its price movement. Then we looked at it again in 2009. It was a very big move. Over Bitcoin is 12 years old. Yet if you bought Amazon after the 12th year, Andrew, you got a 64x return on your money from 2009 to 2021. And let me just step back for a second. If you bought Amazon on the public offering May 15th, 1997, the $10,000 that you put into it is worth $21,140,000 today. But Amazon now, 20 years later, is trading with more stability. I mean, it got a very big pop because of the pandemic, but just take a look at its long-term chart, and I think that will happen to Bitcoin.
I can't attribute the action in gold to anything other than it's at least a percentage of those people are now buying Bitcoin and not gold, because gold, given that what you're describing, gold should be running right now. Is it going to Bitcoin?
The world is changing. That's the vinyl record, Joe. That's the vinyl record. The world's changing. This
Never
is
did before with gold, Anthony. That's what people would say. I mean, you go back 4,000 years. Is it really changing this time? I mean, it kind of looks like it. Look at that.
Well, you know, I mean, it was 1500 something where Copernicus said, you know, we may be revolving around the sun. I mean, things do change. And so we have to look at it rationally, and we have to accept that if money is a technology that allows us to transfer goods and services to each other efficiently, the technology around us would likely improve money, which is a form of technology. And so Bitcoin has done that, and Bitcoin has slayed 8,300 competitors. It's the largest market cap of all the cryptocurrencies, 60 or 70% of the overall market cap, depending on where the prices are bouncing. And in a lot of ways, if you really study it, Joe, it's better than gold. It's easier to store. You can move it around more quickly. And that value and that trusted network is growing. It's 110 million now. By 2025, it'll be at 1 billion. And if we're right and it adopts pursuant to Metcalfe's law, you know, you want to own some Bitcoin.
Am I concerned about the use of energy in Bitcoin mining? No, actually, I've referred to. I feel like Bitcoin is protected by a wall of encrypted energy, and the fact that there's a lot of energy involved, I think, is a good thing. It creates security to the network. If we had 12 servers with 12 stakes of some random coin on them, and we were trusting those 12 servers to protect $200 billion, I would think that's much riskier. I think I'm not really interested in finding quick, elegant, cheap shortcuts to protecting all the money in the world. As I said before, first of all, it's coming at off the marginal points of the grid. The only places people are doing Bitcoin mining are places where there's power that's in excess, that has where the highest marginal utility of the power is Bitcoin mining. If human beings were willing to pay more, then they would price the Bitcoin miners out of the market. And so every place where we need electricity or we need energy for either factories or human welfare, the price is high enough that Bitcoin miners are driven away from that. Bitcoin miners go to the end of the earth, to the end of the grid, and they're using energy that would have otherwise been wasted. It's either wasted hydroelectric energy or, for example, natural gas wells that are about to be closed in, and they either have to close them in or flare them, and they can set up Bitcoin mining rigs there. So I think they're recycling marginal energy in order to create a digital monetary system that's capable of holding all